attention plus a warm welcome to the Chief of Police at the College of Sequoias, Mr. Bob Masterson.
Because I can normally shout out enough for everybody to have a bit of a cold today, so I'm using it today. Picture me like that drill sergeant you see in the movies. That's what being the chief is like sometimes. You have to holler at people. It's fun, but it pays the bills. You want to go right on that mic?
Right on that mic.
Who has to use this mic after me because they're going to get cold? Well, let's see. 4 years here now, so I have some seniors in the room, right?
Yes!
Wow. I'll have to tell maintenance to turn the value misters down a little bit. Couple of things like Principal Kelly said, a couple of words of caution, a couple of words of things that we need to do. I'll start with the words of caution. For you seniors, you can doze off, you've heard this before. For your juniors, you can doze off a little bit, you've heard most of it before. Couple of things. Number one, you guys are on a college campus. It's a little different from high school if you're brand new or transferring in from a high school or transferring in from a junior high. We don't have gates. We don't have bars. You don't feel like you're in prison any longer. You're in school. Yeah. Trust me, I've seen the new buildings for schools. When I drive by El Diamante, I think, man, that looks just like a prison. And when I was in high school, on the inside, I looked out and thought, oh, this is what prison feels like. But with the more freedom, the more openness on this campus, I'd like to caution you. There's people on this campus that you probably are not used to dealing with. Keep in mind, this is a community college campus. It's an open campus system. At any given time on this campus, and I don't mean to scare you, but I want you to be aware, there are parole people on this campus. There are people on probation on this campus. There may be a sex offender or two on this campus registered with us, because if not, I take them to jail. But I want you to be conscious of this only because you're walking among them. So I don't want you to be scared to death, but at the same time, I don't want you walking around thinking you're on a K-12 campus where we don't let those people on the campus. They're here. I want you to be aware of it. And with being aware of it, I want you to understand a couple things. The number one type of crime we have on this campus are crimes of opportunity. That means when you're in the library, the LRC, we don't even call it a library here, we call it the LRC. It's fancy. That's just so you can get more money. When you go to get a book or something, don't leave your binder and your backpack on the table and walk away and expect it to be there when you come back. It won't be. Don't leave your, what's the iPhone 5 going for nowadays? $300. Don't leave your iPhone, there's not a new one, right? I don't know, every time I turn around, they're coming out with a new one. Thank you very much, it's ridiculous. That's just to get your money. Don't leave your iPhone 5 out there, because when you come back, you're going to be out $300. If you don't want your property taken from you, take it with you. Wow, that worked. Apparently I should clear my throat more often. Same with your bikes, same with anything. If you want to keep it with you, if you want to keep it, watch it. Now, with that being said, I also want you to watch other people's property. You ready for this? No. I put a couple of cards up here now. I put a couple of cards up here because I usually collect like 200 when the meeting's over. We have a service here called Tip Now. Anybody heard of it before? You seniors better say yes. Yes. All right, good answer. It's real simple. We have modern technology. Even I know how to text. Even Principal Kelly knows how to text. Trust me. Even, are you ready for this? Even Helen Warrenfeller's mother-in-law has a text. By the way, just so you know, we're related. Okay, so if you want to know who the snitch in the campus is, right there. Gotcha. Actually, she's pretty good, though. She's a good teacher. I'll give her a hard time. But with that, Tip Now. It's an anonymous text tip system. Get the number, program it into your phone. It's on the business card up here. you see anything that you think is odd, out of place, you text it to this number, it goes to my officers, they know what's going on campus. Now, with that being said, don't freak out, we'll text you back. I know you're thinking, wait a minute, you just said it was anonymous. How can you text me back? It goes through a private company who takes your number away from us, but we can send it back to them and ask for information. I'll give you a good example of exactly how this system was used when we first implemented it. Within 2 weeks, we got a text in our office that said, you got a guy with a gun in a backpack. Kind of concerning? Could anybody be walking around with a gun other than me? And they give me one bullet. Now you guys are too young, you don't know who Barney Fife is, do you? I got the last from all the old people here. So anyway, we got a text of a guy with a gun on campus. We responded, but, all right, ready for this?
Yeah.
Listen to this description they give us. Hispanic male adult, 5'6", black hair, black mustache. Let's see. That's you, that's you, that's you, that's you, that's you. So we texted back. Can you give us just a little bit more? They said, yeah, he's in the quad. So we text back. Just a little bit more. This went on a little while. They gave us a pretty good description. We walk out there, and by the time we got down to it, was Hispanic male adult, 5'6", black hair, black mustache, wearing black pants, a white t-shirt, sitting in front of the LRC. So we narrowed it down to 6. And I'm not joking, it's the truth. That's exactly what I narrowed it down to. One of you 6 has a gun. We were still a little bit more confused. We don't like to pull our guns out and throw everybody down on the ground, as much fun as it sounds. So we asked them a little, a little bit more information, please. They said, yeah, he's got a black and white checkered backpack, and you're standing right in front of him. Hey, call me a detective. We call that a clue. And sure enough, we ended up getting somebody in custody. What it turned out to be is he was a convicted felon. He was attending college. He had stolen a gun because some gangbangers were threatening him. Not on campus, though. So that's the good news. They weren't threatening him on campus. To show you how bright he was, he didn't have any bullets. So it wasn't all that serious, but he did have a gun. But that's what Tip Now did for us. That's what we hope it continues to do for us. We've had some good tips over the years since we implemented it. But it's only as good as you put into it. And I tell this to everybody that goes to college here. Our system is only as good as you make it. Now, the thing about the Tip Now is it's also been used to prevent things like suicide. Did you not? College story, not our college, another college, another chief I know. 2 roommates sitting in a room. One wants to commit suicide. How awkward is that for you? Do you want to go, excuse me, hang on a second. Yeah, it's my roommates. They want to kill themselves. A little awkward. Guess what? This gal texted the local police department, the college police department in Fresno State Police, and said, my roommate wants to commit suicide, but I don't want her to know it's me. Right there. Let me ask you this. Anybody texting right now? Do they have phones? Okay, and you're all liars because nobody raised your hand. I know somebody in here is texting. Does your neighbor know what you're saying? Oh, see? I knew it. See? You young man, what's your name? Yeah. Be sure you get a Tip Now card because you're the perfect candidate. So anyway, Isaac, do you know what she's texting? She's not texting you, is she? Because I've seen it. My wife and her sisters do this. They'll sit in the same room and text each other. It's ridiculous. Okay, so you don't know what she's texting. Or you just making fun. But you can sit right next to somebody and they don't know what you're texting. So utilize the system, make your campus safe, make our campus safe. You're part of us. That's the good stuff. Something else. You see these blue phones, these tall blue phones as they put a blue emergency phone on them? Have you seen those? Don't push the buttons. Guess what? They're emergency phones. You push the buttons, guess who it calls? 911. Guess what it is? If you push the button and it's not emergency, it's a misdemeanor, I'll arrest you. If it's an emergency, push it all you want. If it's really emergency, push it really hard. You push it once, the light goes off, everybody knows you pushed it. It's not a fun game. Not to mention the cameras I installed on them all over the summer. You push the button, it's not an emergency. I've got your picture. Enough. As you can tell, I'm kind of light-humored. I'm not your typical cop, I hope. I can be if you piss me off. Can I say this time? Oh, good. Because I said it, it's a good thing. Now, that's the good stuff. Now that that's done. You're UPHS students, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you wouldn't be here. That means you're concurrently enrolled college students, right? Okay, you ready for this? This is the joy of my life, so pay close attention. That means when you screw up, you get in trouble with John. You get in trouble with me. You get in trouble with the dean of students of the college. And you get in trouble with the judge. Sound like fun? Do we want to screw it up? All right. So with that being said, let me point out to you a couple of things. John may say what you did was simple. Okay, no big deal. John, Principal Keller, may say it didn't happen during school, so there's not a lot I can do with it, although I bet you he has rules that say you can't. And I may say it's not enough to arrest you, but it is enough for me to send to the dean of students and get you expelled. And guess what? In the state of California, when you get expelled from a community college, you get expelled for life. So if you do something bad enough to get expelled from College of Sequoias, you never come back to College of Sequoias again. Now, John, can they be a UPHS student without attending College of Sequoias?
Yes.
For how long?
Well, for quite a while. I mean, the object is that everyone goes.
But you might as well go back to regular school because you're not going to get a college education, right?
Right.
So we've kind of taken that one away. I don't want to scare you because, you know what? You wouldn't be here if you were a bunch of screw-ups. Trust me, I know a screening process.
If your question is, once they're kicked out of COS, can they attend here? And the answer is no.
Oh, there we go. My question, that was my question. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm a copy.
Yeah.
So if you get kicked out of COS, you get kicked out of UPH, next thing you know, mid-semester, you're looking for another high school to go to. Is that fun? That's stinks. I'm glad I just covered that one. So all I'm cautioning you is, look, just mind your P's and Q's, do what's right, do what's smart. Are they driving yet?
Yes.
Oh, Jordan.
I mean, I'm trying to pass a law.
Okay, who drives? Who wants to drive? Who hopes to drive? Who knows how to drive? Okay, excuse me. I was looking at somebody I knew and thinking, wait a minute here, you're way too young to do anything about it. Okay, here's the deal. If you're driving your car to school, are they allowed to do that?
Yes.
Okay, couple things. Okay, ready for this? Basic math skills. Who's after me, by the way? You? I can go over as long as I want.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Captive audience, I love it. Basic math skills. Our semester parking permit costs $30.
No.
They're going up next semester, not this semester, so don't freak on me. Right now they're $25. $25. $25 a semester to park your car. Or, you ready for this? You can get a daily parking pass for $2 a day. Somebody do the math for me. If you get a daily parking pass for $2 a day for a month. Well, do you go to school 7 days a week? I hope not. Yes. It went up? Good question. Went up last semester, so you didn't buy one last semester. They're $2 a day. So if you go to school 5 days a week, that's $10 a week, that's $40 a month. Is it better to get a semester parking permit or a daily parking permit? All right, you're with me so far. Now, if you want to roll the dice and say, those stinking cops are too lazy to come out and check and see if I have a permit, a ticket is $35. What's more, a ticket or a semester permit? What's more? It's a word question, sorry. It's a word math problem, I know. I hated them too. A ticket, $35 for a ticket, $25 for a semester permit. Long story short, for goodness sake, buy a semester permit. It's a lot cheaper. Now, with that, I ask that you follow the parking rules. The number one excuse I have on traffic or parking ticket is this. I was late for class, the parking lot was crowded, so I just parked my car. Yeah, unfortunately, you parked it on top of a 76-year-old woman. That's a joke. Glad you got it. But I do ask that there's no excuse other than parking properly. Now, the number one thing, no whiteboard, huh? Darn it, that would have been good. I didn't ask for it. Okay. I can draw on this, but they get really mad at me.
Yeah.
I don't need it, it's not that important. Okay, there's a whiteboard behind me? No, that's a big white screen. Oh, okay, I don't need it that important. That's way too much effort. Okay, have y'all seen the white lines on the ground? Yeah. All right. Did you ever hear your mom say color within the line? Park within the line. Park within the line. If you're driving a car and you pull in, don't take up 2 parking spots. I don't care if it is a brand new BMW. Guess what? $35 ticket. Park within the color within the line. It's real simple. All I'm asking you, sir.
Can you park with like the front of the car facing out?
Good question. Do you read the signs? Everybody know who Seinfeld is? Or am I too old? All right, wait. Quick question. Who knows who Seinfeld is? Anybody heard of the soup Nazi? Meet the soup Nazi. No soup for you. Okay, here's the deal. No, you can't park pulling through a parking spot. We want the front of your car towards the middle of the parking spot. So don't park with your headlights pointing out. It's called head-in parking. Pull into the parking lot like you're pulling into a parking lot, but don't pull through the parking space. Yes, sir.
There's that rule, and there's also the jaywalking rule, in which, you know,
Has anyone tried to figure out why they call it jaywalking?
yeah. I don't know why it's, why do they even call it jaywalking?
I don't know. We're crazy cops.
When they're not using the crossroads to use the, to walk to the other side.
Okay.
Don't walk straight.
There is jaywalking. He's right. We'll get to that in a minute.
Right.
But good question. You've obviously gotten a ticket for that before, haven't you? You know somebody who got a ticket for that? Because that was like my number one ticket I had. Even though on the front of every sign it says full head-in parking only, or permit required only, stuff like that. Jaywalking, good question. Okay, here's the deal. Jaywalking, it's a legitimate question. It's a good question. Out front here, if you decide to go to lunch, is it open campus? Are you ready for lunch? Taco Bell loves you. Taco Bell loves you. When you walk across the street, a couple of things about jaywalking. Okay, you ready for this? This is a test. It's on your driver's license test, too, for those of you interested. When you see a solid red hand doing this, what does it mean? Stop! Why is it almost every day I see you guys ignoring that? Okay, here's the deal, yes. You're good to go if you're halfway across and then it says stop. We don't want you to stop and get run over. Although, wouldn't that be a cool game? I missed my calling, didn't I? I should have been a comedian. You should see my reports. So, if it says stop, don't cross. If you're halfway across and there's a cement barrier, stop on that. If you're halfway across the half of the street that you're supposed to be walking in and it says stop, run faster. However, out here on Mooney Boulevard, where you have all these fences, and you have this sign that says, I love this. You have a sign that says, no ped Xing. Does everybody know what a ped is? Pedestrian. What is Xing? You're smarter than most of the college kids already. Because I can't tell you how many people I stop out here because they decided they didn't want to walk down to the crosswalk. And they walked right by the sign that says, no ped Xing. Do you think I'd like to go to court and testify? Officer Master wants to write a ticket. Oh, he's jaywalking. How did you know he's jaywalking? Well, he's right underneath the sign that said no ped Xing. Plan done. $295. Anybody have $295? If you do, see me later. But don't get the tip down on it. Okay, seriously, $295 for jaywalking. Don't do it, it's not worth it. Okay, another little thing you want to know about when you get out of school at the end of the day and you're in a hurry to walk away. Okay, making a car slow down for you is just the same, about the same fine as jaywalking. So even though you're not jaywalking, but you're crossing the street and the car has to stop for you, it's still a hefty fine. Number one thing I encourage you to do when you're crossing a street around this college campus is follow the lug nut rule. This is a very valuable rule, especially when you learn to drive. I consider it the most valuable rule of the road. If they have more lug nuts than you, they have the right of way. If you're walking, you should have 0 lug nuts. So, who asked that? Good question. Good question. Those are the nuts that hold the wheel on the car. Very important. They're about this big, but they are probably the most important thing on the car. Because if you're driving down the road 70 miles an hour and you lose a wheel, it's bad. So, lug nuts are what hold the wheel on the car. So if they have more than you, they have the right of way. If you're walking, unless you're carrying lug nut in your pocket, you shouldn't have any at all.
Does that mean I won't be touching jaywalking?
Oh, no, that has nothing to do with jaywalking. That was just me trying to keep you out of the hospital. Nice thought, though. I probably would not arrest you. You know what? Try it sometime. Let's see what happens. All right. I'm glad I could do a stand-up routine for you guys today. It's very fun. But with that being said, like I said, there's some serious stuff on the campus. I ask you to pay attention to it. I ask you to keep an eye on what's going on around you. This is a great opportunity you have here. I'll tell you, I wish this opportunity would have been around when I was in high school, because I would have loved to have done it. I was not one of the smart people in the world. I am still struggling to complete my degrees after high school. So it's a struggle when you're an adult trying to go back to school. And you know what? It never stops. Because if I want to get another chief's capstone place, they're looking at masters. So, and sometimes doctorate. I mean, obviously LAPD probably has a doctorate. Dr. G. That's a right to. But you have a great opportunity here, like Mr. Carasosa said, you have a chance to get a leg up on the rest of the world, or at least a great majority of it. Take full advantage of it. And with that being said, we're a little different here, as you can tell. If I'm the chief, you can imagine what my officers are like. We're pretty laid back. We are truly here to help you. Now, with that being said, it doesn't mean we won't help you with the ticket. Because if you do wrong, you might get a ticket and you might not. Yes, sir.
You mentioned 2 things. One is the zone at Woodland where people tend to stop the crosswalk and get out. That's a ticket.
That is a ticket.
And then when I drive somewhere.
Okay, Mr. Kelly wants me to help out your parents a little bit here. Because it'll eventually fall on you if they get a ticket. They're going to be mad at you, trust me. If they hadn't taken you to school today, they wouldn't have gotten a ticket. Anybody heard that before? If I didn't have to do this, I wouldn't have done that. Wait a minute, keywords there. I, okay. Out here where your parents are dropping you off on Woodland, you know that crosswalk? There's that one. Okay, another test. What does a red curb mean? Do not park and no stopping or standing. Now, don't ask me, it's a stupid way to put it. That doesn't mean I don't want you standing on the curb, although I don't. It also means the park can't stop there and let you out. Your parents pulling into the red zone to let you out to come to school is a violation of the law and could be a ticket. Yes, sir.
I was going to say that.
Well, then I can arrest your parents for child endangerment. Trust me, my father threatened to throw me out of the moving car plenty of times.
One more thing.
He wants me to talk about drugs. Anybody got him? Okay, that was a test. Y'all passed. Okay, seriously. Couple of things about a college campus. It's just like a high school campus, we have the same extra laws. First of all, you're all minors, right? Anybody here over the age of 18 that's not an instructor? You're 18? You're 18? Okay, we'll get to you 3 in a minute. Minors, guess what? Couple of things. State of California, the laws are as follows. I do not have to have probable cause, which is a fancy word that says, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt you did it, or haven't, to arrest you. All I need is a reasonable suspicion, which means I got a pretty good hankering out of that one thing. I got a pretty good idea that you did it, and I can take you to jail. Now, with that being said, if that's the law, and I'm teaching you basic law here, if that's the law, what do I need to look in your backpack? If you're a minor in the state of California. I think they got dope. If you got dope, it's an additional charge on a college campus, just like a high school campus. Just the mere possession of it is a violation for juveniles. Guess what? It's for adults too. The difference is this. I have to have probable cause to look in your backpack. The only 3 adults in this, other than, okay, there's 4. There's 4 of you, 5, 6. Stop! Okay, there's a few of you I need probable cause to look in your backpack. Unless Mr. Kelly says I can look in your backpack. Aha! Got it. So, it boils down to this. Guess what? We figured out a while ago the just say no probably doesn't work. If you're going to do it, you do it. You're going to do it. I encourage you not to do it. For quite a few reasons. One, it's just plain stupid. I know I'm not supposed to use that, but it is. Number 2, you don't know who you're getting it from. Number 3, I've been a cop 26 years. Several of those years involved narcotics and SWAT. And I did the search warrants on methamphetamine lab. Most of the stuff that methamphetamine is made of is poison. No, it's just one of the ingredients. There's stuff worse than that. Yeah, that's right. The stuff that these people are buying and putting up their noses is designed to kill things. Does this sound like a shock to anybody? Does it surprise you why it's bad for you? So why do we do it? Okay, now, with that being said, alcohol is the same thing except it's legal for some silly reason. Now, one more thing about drugs. Anybody heard about medicinal marijuana? Doesn't apply on a California community college or elementary school. There is no such thing as medically prescribed marijuana in the state of California on any school property. I don't care if you have a doctor's recommendation for it. It doesn't come on campus. It's a misdemeanor, an arrestable offense for a little bit of weed. Sound like it's worth it? Doesn't to me. Well, unless you can float above the 500-foot limit, airspace limit, then you're in trouble. If you can float 500 feet above the airspace limit, I'm not even going to try and catch it because I can't run all that fast. Much less float that fast. All right, seriously. We are here to help you. I encourage you, if you have any questions, oh gosh, I'm off to the guy. Yes?
You're like Super Mario.
No, it doesn't on the college property. I don't believe it for us. Everything has to be, when you're here as a UPHS student, you have to abide by UPHS student rules, which means any type of, guess what, I think today, and nowadays that means you can't even give an aspirin to somebody. So, everything has to go through Principal Kelly's office. Now, when you're here as a college student, and you know what, you did a great segue into a whole other topic, and I'm going to be here another 45 minutes. I'm kidding. When you're here as a college student, you're treated just like an adult, except for the law. And I have to treat you like a minor. With that being said, you have to understand, you are here basically as 2 people. You're here as high school students involved in UPHS, and you're here as college students involved in the college. We will treat you as such depending on the contact we have with you. If you're here during your school hours at UPHS, anytime we run across you, the first thing we're going to do is drag you into Mr. Kelly's office if you're doing something wrong. If you're here as a college student and it's not during UPHS hours, we'll treat you just like every other college student. And if that means we expel you, suspend you, arrest you, or say, hi, how you doing, it's as a college student. You have to keep that in your mind, that you're here as 2 types of people. Now, unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know which way you want to look at it. Fresno State has a high school on its campus too. And in the middle of Fresno State, their high school campus has a fence all the way around it. which tells every high school student, this is my safe zone, and tells every college student, don't walk past that line. You don't have that here. You're intermingled. Guess what? As I get older, everybody looks young. But to high schoolers, to college kids, you all look about the same age. You all look about the same age. Don't play that game. Don't play the game of I'm older than I really am. Because the maturity level of some of the people coming to this college is vastly different than yours. And the types of games they play are vastly different than anyone else's. So just be aware of your surroundings, keep a level head on, and enjoy your experience here, because I will tell you, in the 4 years we've had UPHS here, your guys' institution is the least amount of problems we have. So kudos for you guys, and gals, are doing something right. Because we very rarely have a bad encounter with a UPHS student. And I'd like to keep that up. And I give you kudos for that, because most of our time is spent dealing with our adult population who don't care to act like adults. Any more questions? Sorry, John.
Sorry, two more, then we gotta move.
That's what I was wondering. To use the emergency phone, what exactly qualifies as emergency?
What would you dial 911 for?
Fire.
If you keep in your mind, what would I dial 911 for? Because that's where that phone goes. That's what you hit that emergency phone for. Please don't hit the emergency phone for directions on how to get from that emergency phone to the next emergency phone.
Well, you talked about, I'm thinking about riding my skateboard to school, and I think I'll just skate down the middle of campus. What would happen if I did that?
Okay. Yeah. She does this because she knows the answer. Because I've probably said it to you. Couple of things. Skateboarding is a misdemeanor on a college campus. It is subject to a fine and confiscation of your skateboard. That's the official thing. Personally, skateboarding is dangerous. I broke my leg doing it. It's bad. So when it says skateboarding is not a crime, it should be. And yes, I was an adult when I did it. Adults do not belong on skateboards. I'll get with you in a second. I won't forget you. So, and then you had a question back here. Pardon me?
When are parking permits required?
We usually give a 2-week grace period for the start of the semester to get everybody used to the concept. So semester starts next week, so figure right around February 1st. Parking permits required. Back to Ms. Warren-Feller's question. Skateboards, bicycles. Don't ride your bicycles on the campus. However, with that being said, if you ride them reasonably and don't run over people, we usually turn a blind eye because, guess what? It's a lot cheaper than gas. So, hang on a second. You had a question.
Oh, I was wondering if rollerblades also.
Anything with wheels that aren't motorized and doesn't have a light bar on it. Pretty much narrows it down, huh? The only type of vehicle I should be going across the parking lot, or Mr. Kelly's golf cart, or across the campus, because I let him do that. The janitor's driving the cart, and my cop cars. Pretty much it. Or you need a special permit, I won't give it for rollerblades, because they're dangerous too.
Water scooters are in there?
No. Okay, once we hit the campus, if it has wheels and goes round and round, no. Pretty simple, huh? If it's square and you can get it to go round and round, more power to you.
What if you're riding your bike across the campus and get to the bike rack?
Like I said, let's use common sense. The rule, the letter of the law, the way the rule is written, no bicycle riding, no skateboarding, no rollerblading, no wheels of any type allowed on campus. If you have the wheels in your shoes, I'll take those away too. I'm just kidding. So, and it's for safety because we have a lot of people walking through the campus that when you're on a bicycle, you have an unfair advantage to run people over.
There are a lot of questions. We got a lot of questions.
Okay, who had a question?
One more, last question.
Make it good, it's the last one.
I just want to see how you react to this. What if the Hulk came in here and you are wrong?
Oh, I know what he said. I know what he said. Okay, let's analyze this for a minute. that the good doctor doesn't become the Hulk unless he becomes mad. So he's smoking weed, he ain't mad.
Thank you, Bob.